Welcome back, everyone. Before we jump into today's story, make sure to share your thoughts and the lessons you take away in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. There's plenty more stories like this coming your way. Now let's get into it. My name is Marcus. I was married for 7 years to a woman named Tasha. If I'm honest, the last 2 years of our marriage felt less like a partnership and more like sharing a space with a stranger. The excitement, the connection, the warmth. All of it had quietly slipped away long before either of us said a word about it. But I stayed, hoping that just by showing up, something would spark back to life. What ended it wasn't a dramatic fight or a tearful showdown. It was a single text message, sent from Las Vegas. That one moment, one message, flipped everything from vague suspicion to cold, undeniable reality. It's the moment I trace back to when I think about how my marriage ended, and how my life changed. I'm a Black American man, and so was Tasha. This is our story. I met Tasha when I was in my late 20s, at a business mixer downtown. I wasn't there looking for love, just networking, exchanging business cards, making small talk. But somehow we bumped into each other at the coffee station, made a joke about how bad the coffee was, and ended up talking for longer than I expected. We exchanged numbers, but I thought that would be the last of it. Just another contact in my phone I'd never really reach out to. But then, a few days later, Tasha messaged me. One message turned into several. Texts turned into phone calls. Calls turned into weekend meetups. We didn't rush anything, but we also didn't hesitate once it felt right. Commitment was never a question for us. Felt like a shared conclusion. Before long we were married. The first few years were steady and simple in the best way. We laughed together over our modest apartment, supported each other's goals, and built a life day by day. We were two Black Americans, working hard, dreaming big, carving out a future with the time and resources we had. We weren't wealthy, but we were consistent. We paid bills on time, enjoyed date nights, small weekend getaways, and treated ourselves occasionally. We thought in seasons, not days, which gave us hope that everything was moving forward. There was one thing we both wanted but never talked about loudly: children. It was always there, hovering gently in our conversations. We were hopeful, assuming it would happen naturally like the rest of our life seemed to. We tried. We tracked cycles, made appointments, adjusted plans. But with every month that passed, disappointment followed. It was quiet and slow, a shared pain that neither of us named out loud. Instead of addressing it, we both buried ourselves deeper into work. Tasha took on extra projects. I volunteered for more responsibility. We were under the same roof, but living in different worlds inside our heads. The house felt the same, but the warmth slowly faded. The small acts of affection became efforts. Laughter was harder to find. The physical and emotional distance grew, not with fireworks, but with a slow, almost invisible drifting apart. I told myself marriages go through seasons and that patience would be enough. But some seasons don't change with waiting. They change when you finally decide to act. By the 7th year it was clear. Tasha was becoming someone I didn't recognize. Her work hours extended into late nights. Weekends were booked with retreats and conferences, some lasting days, others a week long. Knowing corporate life, I understood these things were serious commitments, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. She always seemed to have one more event coming up. I tried to trust her. I reminded myself suspicion could become self-fulfilling if I let it consume me. Still, I wanted to fix this somehow. Maybe if I took on more of the financial burden and household work, she'd have the energy to focus on us again. So I did. I quietly paid more bills, handled chores, and supported her as best I could. For a while it seemed to work. She started coming home earlier a few nights each week. She laughed more. I felt hopeful again, believing we could rebuild what was breaking. But it didn't last. The late nights and travels returned with more force. When I tried to talk about us, really talk, she shut me down. She snapped when I asked for a conversation. "What's your problem? How do you want us to reconnect?" Her tone wasn't curious. It was cold, sharp. After that, the distance grew worse. Our talks became practical and limited. Bills, schedules, errands. Anything deeper was off limits. When I suggested date nights or therapy, she refused or made excuses. The guest room became her refuge after minor arguments. I tried to be patient, but deep down I feared the worst. People don't close off every connection without opening one somewhere else. Then came the text. One Tuesday evening, Tasha told me about a week-long work retreat in Las Vegas. I was surprised. A full week for a company that never really shut down like that. I asked simple questions. Was it part of a conference or leadership program? Instead of explaining, she snapped at me, accusing me of ruining everything and calling me paranoid. Her hostility shocked me, but I kept calm. I explained I just wanted to understand. She threatened that if I pushed further, she'd leave and take everything. She left that Saturday. The house was quiet for the first time in months, and oddly I felt peace. I didn't believe her threats, having heard similar ones before. But I was wrong. Thursday night, the day before she was due back, my phone buzzed. A message from Tasha. There was a photo, her smiling next to a man I didn't know, standing in front of what looked exactly like a marriage registry office. The caption read, "Just married my coworker. You're pathetic for not calling me the whole retreat." My world stopped. Betrayal, confusion, numbness hit all at once. I didn't argue. I didn't ask questions. I replied with one word, cool. Then I took a screenshot, knowing how stories change when people regret their choices. I called the one person I trusted for clear advice. My college friend Jamal. Jamal is a family lawyer and a no-nonsense guy who had seen this kind of thing before. He told me to stay calm, document everything, and not make any sudden moves until we talked. That call was a turning point. Jamal outlined a plan. Protect my finances, freeze joint accounts, keep my cool, and prepare legally. Followed it. First thing Friday morning, I froze the joint bank accounts and canceled shared credit cards. I wasn't trying to punish Tasha, just stop funding decisions that would hurt me. Then I had the locks changed. That night, I finally slept without anxiety. When Tasha returned, I wasn't home. She tried using her card at the airport, which declined. She found the locks changed. I got a call from the local police asking me to come let her in. I met the officers outside, calmly explaining that I owned the house and that after what happened in Vegas, I didn't feel safe letting her back without legal guidance. The police said it was a civil matter and couldn't force entry. Tasha broke down, claimed the Vegas wedding was a joke, that they were drunk, that it wasn't real. I said nothing. I let the officers do their job. Jamal and I filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences and infidelity. We sought full separation of assets. Then came the bombshell. Tasha's coworker from Vegas, named Darius, was already married. What looked like a careless stunt was actually bigamy, a serious crime. Jamal gathered all the evidence, texts, photos, the marriage certificate from Nevada's registry, and reported it to authorities. The investigation began. The tone changed. This was no longer a private dispute. It was legal. Meanwhile, the court froze our joint assets and granted me full use of the house. I finally had room to breathe, to focus on work and healing. The criminal case moved forward. Tasha claimed the whole thing was a joke, just Vegas fun. Prosecutors didn't buy it. They had signed documents and hotel records proving otherwise. Months passed with hearings and paperwork. I kept my head down and showed up when I had to. Every time I came home, I was grateful I had secured the place first. When the verdict came, Tasha was found guilty of bigamy. She avoided jail but got probation, a hefty fine, and community service. The felony will follow her forever. Her employer fired her quickly. They confirmed no company retreat ever happened in Vegas. Whatever took her there was not work-related. My divorce was finalized with no alimony or ongoing financial ties. The court recognized the betrayal and ruled fairly. I walked away relieved, not triumphant. Tasha's decision cost her more than she ever imagined. Looking back, I wouldn't have wished for this ending. But it gave me what I needed: permission to stop being a doormat and start protecting my peace. That one text from Las Vegas didn't just end a marriage. It gave me clarity, boundaries, and a fresh start. I learned how to act with calm, gather facts, protect my home, and close one chapter to open another, one where I'm free to live on my own terms. If this story resonated with you, please comment your thoughts or lessons below, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss another powerful story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.